Hey everyone, this is Hyperactive, and today we're going to discuss what needs to happen in the next Spider-Man game in order to be awesome. So let's go ahead and jump right in it. Let's start off with the combat, and should it be free-flow combat from the Arkham games? Well, yes and no. You see here, Spider-Man can and has bounced between enemies as well as bouncing all over the place using his agility. We have seen it plenty of times in the comics, movies, and cartoons. The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, you could bounce between enemies, but you can't bounce off the wall, you can't tie them up to street lamps, you can't grab them and throw them, and you can't do air combos. The only game that comes close to this is Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Let's face it, Spider-Man Web of Shadows has the best Spider-Man combat to date, even though it can be exploitable and it is over the top, almost like Dragon Ball Z. You know how he can web zip attack enemies and creates a shockwave that hurts other enemies around him? I know Spider-Man's strong, but damn, I don't think he's that strong. Pretty sure I just broke that guy's neck. Web of Shadows allowed players to fight in the air, ground, and the walls. The game made sure to use of all of Spider-Man's abilities, and hell, the game made good use of the weapon attack as well. Yeah, sure, like I did, it can be over the top. It is still the best Spider-Man combat that we ever got. So really, just take everything that Web of Shadows did right, but make it more grounded to where Spider-Man isn't making people explode and somehow not defying the laws of physics. Like seriously, how's he doing that? And combine that with bounce off between enemies easily, this will create the best Spider-Man combat. Now, combat aside, I do want to quickly talk about the stealth. Spider-Man isn't known for his stealth, but it has been doing very well in the Spider-Man Shadow Dimension and the soul-crushing, mediocre, Amazing Spider-Man 2 game. I would imagine the stealth coming into play when you need to sneak around without being spotted, or they'll need to close the doors on high-tech object hostage situations, or just simply picking off guys with guns first, so it would be easier for you in the fight. There can be stealth, but I don't want it to be heavily focused on, because let's face it, in the Spider-Man game, you don't want to move slow and cautiously, you want to move fast.
1022, assault in progress, over.
I don't really have much to say for web swinging, just make it like Spider-Man 2. The web swinging has momentum, it's fluid, it's skill based, web has a physical presence, and it has real-time physics. However, we are going to need more if this Spider-Man game is going to stick out more. Insomniac Studios already stated they are going to integrate parkour movement in the new Spider-Man game. However, the parkour should not be faster like the web rush is faster than actual web swinging. Seriously, look at this.
I don't think about Spider-Man.
The parkour movement should complement the web swinging, not a faster way of getting around. Now, it can be used more if Spider-Man runs out of webs, more on that later, so that way they are not needing a taxi to get around. Now, should Web Rush make a return? Yes and no again. I like the idea of Web Rush allowing players to reach harder to reach places and slowing down time to select a target to go to, but it takes no skill to use. There is no limit to it, and like I said, it's faster than actual web swinging. However, the web rush works great when it comes to stealth, being able to slow down time, picking a perch to land and quickly grabbing up an enemy from there. However, if stealth's not going to be part of the game, then don't put web rush in there. Now, the only Spider-Man game that has limited webbing is Spider-Man on the PS1 and Spider-Man Enter Electro. Having the webs limited would force the players to think more carefully on how much they are using and be more creative with the parkour and web swinging. Now, I don't want blue web cartridges floating around and you must collect them in order to refill your cartridges. That would look ridiculous and just wouldn't fit the realistic graphics. Why not actually have us work for the Bugle to earn money or points in order to make more webbing? Hell, if they wanted, they could bring back the pizza missions. When the player does run out of webbings, Spider-Man needs to do a reload animation. Not a long one, but not one that's too quick. If the player wants it to be faster, then make it an unlockable upgrade.
Those things.
There should be a good variety of enemies and different types that should have their own difficulty to them. Like common thugs should be like nothing to you. If you really wanted to, you could beat them in one punch. Okay, not that strong, but you get the idea. Fighting enemies like the lizards, robots, and enhanced humans should be harder and requires a bit more thinking to take them down. Supervillains should be either just as strong or even stronger than you. The best example of this is when you're fighting Venom in Spider-Man PS1. He is stronger, you have to move fast to dodge, he can easily break out your webbing, he does more damage to you than a regular enemy. Now when you fight someone like Wolverine, you shouldn't feel stronger than him, but he can heal faster than you, making him harder to put down than regular enemies. Just two more things I would love to come back. One would be Bruce Campbell coming back to narrate the game. He is funny when he insults you, makes snarky comments, and overall just being mean to you. The second would bring back the destructible world from Web of Shadows. This is a cool little detail that made fights seem more badass when a powerful enemy knocks you through a brick wall or a random object. Alright, that's all I thought. I would bring up more of the open world and the story, but seeing the trailer and how beautiful it is and the streets are filled with cars and people, it's safe to say they already got that down. And Insomniac Games already stated that they want Spider-Man and Peter Parker worlds to collide, which is great because Ultimate Spider-Man is the only one that did that. What would you guys like to see in the new Spider-Man game? Leave your thoughts down below. If you guys like hearing my thoughts and ideas, why not subscribe, hit the like button, and share the button as well. See ya!